I'm trying to decide if I want to buy this freaking video editor or if I don't want to, because this little watermark thingy here is really annoying. But also, last time I bought this video editor, I paid for the lifetime warranty, or the lifetime like supply of having this video editor, like I wouldn't have to pay again, and then it disappeared. So now I'm back to the stupid watermark, and so I'm making this video as just like a video to make, and to like try out the video editor and see how I feel about the watermark again, and see if I want to buy this stupid video editor thing so that I don't have this freaking watermark or not. So this is what that video is. You're welcome. So I've been writing in journals since I was like 12 or before that. But I have this journal with me, and I've been writing in this one since I started college. This is my college journal, and I thought it would be fun to go through the funny parts or the interesting parts and read you a couple things from it. Can I just start by saying the amount of times that I say, wow, I'm a slacker in this journal is intense. Literally both of the first entries in this journal are, wow, what a slacker, on September 17th, 2015. And then on October 18th, 2015, I also said, wow, again, I've been slacking. So that's how I talk to myself in these journals. Honestly, these journal entries aren't even that funny. There's just a couple things that I mention in them that I like look back at it and smile or laugh at. Like October 18th, I'm talking about all the people I've met since coming to college, because it's been like 1 month since being in college. And I talk about the RA I had my freshman year, and I said, she's really awesome and I like to talk to her and I love her company and she's kind and weird. But then I go on and talk about boys in choir, and I say, there's this one boy, he's super nice and I love talking to him, but then there's this other boy and he's a beautiful man. But I also say I find him extremely attractive, looks and personality wise, but it's probably an unhealthy crush. Like, what? Why? On February 29th, 2016, it was Leap Day, right? And so I wrote that Mark, our choir director, had the whole choir leap just at the beginning of class, just to like, experience leaping. And we were all, trying to figure out why he has us just leaping up and down like this. And then he's like laughing at us, and I remember it. And then he tells us to stop, and he says, why did I make you do that? And no one could figure out why he had us leaping. And he says, it's February 29th. It's Leap Day. That's funny. On May 28th, 2016, I say, another topic. Before I began writing, I was roasting marshmallows on a candle. Super interesting and fun. Who does that? On July 29th, 2016, this whole journal entry was me being excited to go to my church camp the next day, and how I was like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting to be back at camp. At the end of it, though, I said, in other news, there's a rat living in my room, making it hard for me to sleep. Hopefully it leaves by the time I'm back from camp. So there was this, like, rat living in my room, or like just like in my room, and it was the scariest thing ever. I remember being in bed, hearing a weird sound, and I was like, what the heck is that sound? And so I ended up like getting my phone and turning on the flashlight, and I watched a rat climb up the back of my like big mirror thing, go across my curtain rod into like my corner where I have like a bunch of stuffed animals in a net, and I don't know where it went in those stuffed animals. It was the scariest thing ever. I did not sleep in my room that night. I went out to the living room to sleep on the couch. Eventually the rat did get out of my room, which was nice, but I remember that happening, and it scared me so much. Nobody wants a rat just hanging out in their room when they're trying to sleep. Like, wake up with a rat cuddling up to you? No thank you. And then on August 9th, 2016, I said, I can't believe I'm going back to school in 4 weeks, but I'm actually a bit excited too. I really enjoy my clean dorm without rats. But alongside the funny journal entries, I also have sad ones, like on September 15th, 2016, the day after I think it was that I found out I didn't get into Whitworth Choir this year. I said, So yep, as you know, I didn't make it into Whitworth Choir this year. I'm very disappointed in myself. It's been a few days since finding out, so my emotions have calmed down. It's still really hard for me to accept, and I'm still very sad. No Spain, no new friends in Whit Choir, no choir every day, only 1 year left to be in Whitworth Choir. Won't see some people this year much, and so on. My streak of bad luck has been killing me. Also, my confidence and self-esteem is low, which is so frustrating. So yeah. Cool thing though is I said I only had 1 year left in Whitworth Choir, but I actually had 2 since I took an extra semester. I could be in Whitworth Choir for my senior year. So like, you know, it might have been disappointing and sad at this time, but I had great experiences as a women's choir, and yeah, I don't know. I think I was all like in my head at that moment, but I look back and I'm like, you know, I probably thought when I was writing this, I'd look back and be like, wow, that was a horrible time in my life. But I look back and I'm like, you know, hardships just make you stronger. My sophomore year of college was the hardest for me, I think, in general, not only because I didn't get into the choir, but also because my voice lessons were just super weird that year. I was uncomfortable being a person sometimes and didn't know how to feel comfortable singing in front of people or singing and being vulnerable. So like I talked about my voice lesson on October 3rd, 2016, and I was like, voice lessons still make me nervous and uncomfortable. My voice teacher is just so powerful and demanding. He's nice but strict, and that scares me. So yeah, there's more journal entries about my voice lessons too, but it's funny to read it again. Yeah, I talked about voice lessons again on March 17th, 2017. This is a huge entry because I hadn't written in so long and I had so much to say. But I wrote, so 2 weeks ago, my voice teacher told me I was falling behind and he thought it was best if I didn't audition for upper divisions. I, of course, thought that was a horrible idea. I cried about it a lot, and I paid for extra coachings with my pianist. I looked up my composers and really worked on performing my pieces emotionally. For that whole week, I worked my butt off. A week later, I performed my pieces for my voice teacher in his office. He said I improved so much in a week, and he was proud of me, but he also wanted to make sure I wouldn't fall behind again. I told him I wouldn't and I won't, and then he concluded with saying that I was allowed to audition for upper divisions, which I did today. I didn't feel like it was my best performance, but my voice teacher sent me an email saying I passed. So, although I had a rough year of voice lessons, I ended on a very high note after a very emotional week, but then I ended on a high note. And at the end of sophomore year, I wrote on this same journal entry from March 17th, 2017, I said, remember when I wrote my first entries in this journal? LOL. I love it here so much. I have great friends and great professors that have so many positive things to say about me. This summer is gonna be all about money and voice music and getting back into Whitworth Choir. It's interesting because I talk about how hard sophomore year was, but also it wasn't hard socially for me. Freshman year, I felt so out of place with people and I didn't have any friends, and the people that I did talk to that were like my friends were like, just, it was uncomfortable and I never felt like myself. But sophomore year is when I started thriving in my friendships. And so like I said on February 14th, 2017, happy Valentine's Day. I actually got like 3 Valentines today. I feel so loved. So I think that's really sweet. I might have not have gotten to the choir I wanted to, and I had, class schedule on sophomore year is hard. And I also was just struggling in voice lessons, but I had so many new found friendships and people that loved me. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great year, even if it was tough. So it's fun to look back and reflect on that as well. Sophomore year of college was also the year that I started trying to be famous on YouTube. I've realized now that that's not really a thing, for me at least. It's probably not going to happen, but I was making videos and pretending I was already famous. So, Yeah, I wrote on November 17th, 2016. Recently, I've been trying to be famous. I've been making YouTube videos and posting them non-stop. I even made myself a Facebook page. It's kind of a joke, but I would also think it'd be cool if I got noticed. Still waiting. And then I have journal entries of like the first time I met certain friends. So like this journal entry from September 18th, 2016 says, went to Silverwood yesterday with Meredith, Brisa, and Taylor. It rained a lot yesterday and now it's back to being sunny. It only rained the day we went to Silverwood. Ha, figures. So yeah, that was the first time I ever mentioned Brisa, and I think Meredith in my journal. I don't think I mentioned them very often, but it was the first time. On September 30th, 2017, I write about another friend. There's this freshman girl, Ingrid, who lives 2 doors down, who I adore. So that's the first time I mention her. March 9th, 2018. But this entry is the first time I mentioned some of my best friends. So March 9th, 2018, I mentioned my best friend Carly. I said, speaking of Carly, as I was rereading all my journal entries with Carly, I realized she hasn't even been mentioned in my journal yet. Weird. Carly is my homegirl. I met her sophomore year. I call her my kid and mom, and she calls me granny. It's normal, and we're both obsessed with this professor. How could you not be? Carly knows basically all my secrets and almost my whole life story. She's probably my closest friend here at Whitworth. I don't know what I would do without her. Isn't that just like the sweetest thing ever you could write about someone? Like, what the heck? I love that girl. My senior year on October 20th, 2018, I said, let me tell you, this first month and a half back have been crazy. Let me tell you the smaller stuff. Being a TA is so good. I think the freshmen are irritating, but also great people. I love Polina. She's a doll, and I have a soft spot for her, like with Ingrid last year. So that's when I mentioned Polina for the first time. So cute. So one of a more recent journal entries is from May 13th, 2019. And I talk about leaving, or I'd say I'm graduating in like 5 days. And then I talk about leaving Spokane. I said, anyways, I leave Spokane in 1 week. I have no idea when I'll be back. I'm going to Hawaii to student teach at the end of July. I arranged 2 pieces, which I'm excited to see/hear the students perform. I may compose 1 more if I have time. I didn't. I'm really excited to graduate, but it's hard to say goodbye to everyone. I'm making a video for YouTube saying goodbye to Polina, Chloe, Andrea, Brisa, Carly, and Ingrid. I already did the first 3. I still have to do the last 3. If you want to go see that video, go check out my YouTube. So, this is my crazy journal. If you want crazier journal entries when I get back in Washington next month, I will pull out my journals from middle school, and girl, let me tell you, I have a whole page about me mourning my cat who disappeared. So, yeah, I'll have to share that with you sometime. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more random content, then push that subscribe button. Yep, that is all I have for you. So I will see you little cuties later. Bye.